Hey there. So today we're laying some tile, and it's floor tile. It's a square, which I'm so used to not doing square stuff that we don't have the chalk lines anymore. So every once in a while I show you like this is how you chalk lines, and so we come off the line like this, and then we lay our tile. Now this is a checkerboard pattern, and the reason why you think, oh, are they going to play checkers on here? No. They're going to play chess, okay? So, I don't know. I think they use small. There's a lot of wildlife around here, and so they use a lot of different rabbits. I think foxes. Sometimes, you know, for the queen and stuff like that, they have like feral hogs and stuff like that. So that's why they're doing their floor like this, is so that they can have, you know, going to the bathroom. Sometimes can be a chore, but sometimes it's just fun. You know,
you can make a game with it.
We like to make it more of a fun experience instead of like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Instead it's like, I get to go to the bathroom, right? So, how exciting. Yay, how exciting. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. There's so many people that you know that are spiritual people, and you're like impressed with that. But what you're not thinking about is the devil's spiritual. You thought about that?
Yes.
Demons are spiritual. You thought about that? I feel like you haven't. So I'm going to get back to laying tile here in a minute. But the Bible says in James, in case you're wondering, you have faith, I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. Okay? You believe that there's one God, that's good. Even the demons believe that and tremble. But don't you know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead, just like your body is without your soul. Imagine your body and no soul inside of it. I'm sure you've seen it on the side of the road, roadkill, things like that, maybe your dinner. Maybe if you go hunting, you're like, oh, that body has left the soul. Now imagine that your faith without your works, that's what that looks like to God. Dead, worthless. Just like, oh, I'm a demon and I believe in God. You're like, of course you do.
Yeah.
You've seen it with your own eyes. Like that's like saying, oh, I believe in this big measure. Like, well, you oughta. It's right there in front of you. Right? Demons can see things that we can't see. So when somebody says I'm spiritual, have some discernment. I'm gonna get back to work. Huh, wait a minute. That feels better. Huh, it's you guys. You're here again. So, we did many things today. What all we did today, Jimmy?
Oh, so many things.
So many things.
So many things.
We put up all the rest of the blinds.
Blinded.
We got a door in upstairs. We got some trimming upstairs. We laid tile downstairs, tile upstairs, put the hardy upstairs. Mm-hmm. Got all this rail painted. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Take a minute. Look how nice that is. So we're gonna get some wood hopefully tomorrow and put on those stairs, but my goodness, that looks nice.
Gorgeous.
It was that brown metal, red iron, whatever. But that black makes such a difference. It just really, and I learned this recently, makes it pop.
Pop.
Yeah, makes it pop. And then we did some other things too. So we're really narrowing it down here to the final touches, which make all the difference in the world, yes, right? Like you see it, you go, oh, it's a big, nice house. But then every step of the way, you're like, that makes it so much nicer and so much nicer and so much nicer. Just refining it down until it's like, oh man, I'm so happy for the people that are moving in. So, and they're wonderful people. Now, what do we want to talk about tonight, Jimmy? That's right. We want to talk about personal accountability. And let me tell you what I'm talking about, okay? Let's imagine that there's a government, okay?
What?
I know. There's a federal government. And they say, you can't do this thing, but it's immoral.
You mean to govern all the people?
Right.
Oh.
It not only is it immoral, but it's dangerous and so on and so forth, but they're forcing everybody to do it. Let's just say that that's happening. I don't know that it is, but you know.
That's insanity.
That's hypothetically speaking, let's just say that's happening.
Sure, it never happened.
Anybody in the federal government can say, you know what, I don't want to participate in this. Anybody in the federal government can say that. Then, furthermore, let's just say that everybody in the federal government is like, I'm just going to do it, I'm just doing my job, it's not my fault. Just like the Nazis did, okay? Because the Nazis did that. Every last one of them can say, I was just doing what I was told. Mm-hmm. Like you were. But you participated, okay? Now, let's take it down to a state level. That governor can say, I don't want to do that. Even though the federal government says we have to, the state governor can say, we are not going to do that. You can go ahead and do it. You can even make a federal law, but we are not going to subscribe to that. And furthermore, we're not going to enforce that law. So we're just going to tell everybody we're not going to enforce this law. okay? Now let's just say that the federal government and the state governor is like, we're still gonna do it. Every one of us is just like, we're following the devil, we don't care, okay? Hypothetically speaking. Then you get down to like, local government. You can still say no. You can refuse to do something that's wrong.
That's right.
Okay? You can go, even though the federal government and the state government said it, we are not going to enforce that in our county, in our town, our city, whatever in the world. We're not going to do it because it's nonsense, it doesn't work, it's hurting people, and we're over it. Okay? And I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's use your imagination. Yeah, hypothetically speaking. Now let's just say everybody stacked down the list is like, we're all going to follow the devil. We don't care. We're just doing what we're told, just like the Nazis did. Individuals can still say, no, I'm not going to enforce that. Let me give you, for example. My little brother was in the Navy, and at some point, they said, you're going to be a cop, a military cop, right? And it was for, I forget how long, an amount of time. And when I found out about this, I was like, I don't think I can be your brother anymore, okay? And when I talked to him about it later, and he started, I forget, maybe a year or something like that, and he goes, but I was different, I was a good cop. I'm like, really? How many people did you arrest? And he goes, none. I'm like, what? I was like, well, how many tickets did you write? He's like, none. I'm like, you wrote 0 tickets and you arrested 0 people in a year. And he goes, yep. I told him I didn't want to do it in the first place. And somebody goes zipping by, and my partner would be like, shouldn't we pull them over? He'd be like, I didn't see anything. And I'm like, you are my brother. I love you. And I hugged him a lot. And I'm not exaggerating. That's a real story. But at any point, anybody can say, you know what? We're not going to do the bad thing. I don't care if my boss and his boss and his boss and all the way up to the President of the United States says we're going to do the bad thing. You can still choose to do the right thing. And when you do, it gives other people the courage to do the right thing as well.
That's right.
Tomorrow, we're going to do some steps, we're going to do some grout, we're going to get toilets in, and that's probably a lot more exciting for us than it is for you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You just don't know.
We're going to get the shower door in upstairs, hopefully going to order some carpet, and really start getting this thing down. Hopefully we're going to get some R panel around this fireplace. That's going to be exciting. So, love you guys. See you in the morning. All right, bye. So if you're like me, you probably think about a lot of things. Like, for example, if you wake up feeling like $1 million, but before, the night before, you were a billionaire, is that bad?
Yeah.
I don't know. So we're getting a lot of grief because I made a video yesterday, and I know what you're thinking, but it was a controversial video? Well, yeah, I guess. But we clear coated these steps, okay? And apparently we put too much clear coating on them because people can't see it, which I'm like, get better eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, get LASIK or whatever it takes.
Why do you think they call it clear coat?
Right, that's why you call it clear coat. My favorite color is clear. I painted clear on there. It's Invisalign steps or whatever. And I guess enough people voted that I'm gonna have to put steps you can see on here. So I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. I'm hurt by this. I'm disappointed. I mean, I can walk up the steps. It's not a problem. I can see the steps up there. I don't understand Jimmy, do you understand what the problem is?
Where's the problem?
No. I mean, if they push the wrong button, just like video games, they just disappear. But then you put them back on, you just walk right up again. It's pretty magical. Got anything on your heart, Jimmy?
I do. It's congestion mostly.
Yeah, congestion. Well, that kind of brings up an important point. 1 out of 4 people will die of heart disease. And that's sad. That means if there's you and 3 of your friends sitting around watching this video, giggling to yourselves, this is a moment where you realize you're counting in your head like 1, 2, 3.
Which one of the 4 though?
But you know it's you because you 1, 2, 3, and then you're like,
oh, you're 1 of 4.
Yeah, you're 1 of 4.
God.
Yeah, I know you would know, like, I'm gonna die of heart disease. And yet nobody's slapping French fries and pizza out of your hand.
That's right. Nobody's counting backwards either.
Nobody is, the government's not mandating that you can't eat French fries or eat greasy, sugary, sweet stuff because maybe it's not about your safety. All right, we're gonna get back to work. Oh, hey there. So, today, we got started late. And when I say we got started late, what I mean is we got here late because we had to go all over the world to find materials and stuff. Turns out not everybody in the world does floating stairs, and so it took us a while to get the right materials. Like, nobody had them. But we found some stuff and we modified. And isn't that beautiful? Come on over here closer, Jimmy. Let's take a look at this. I mean, wow. Look at that, huh?
Oh, wow. That is beautiful.
That's pretty. Now, obviously, we're going to stain it and we're going to polyurethane it. And so we're not done yet. We got some several more steps to do. But what a difference, huh? I mean, remember the junkie wood that we had? If you don't remember, let me show you. Oh, these are the other steps. Now, these are classy. If you like stuff that's not classic, which I don't. And that's why we use junk, because we knew it was going to get texture on it and paint and take bed on mud and all kinds of stuff. So we're glad that's done. Now, several of you are like, I wish everybody was like me. Not me, like your own self. And because they're not, then you feel sorry for them. And then you're like, you know what I want to do? I want to help them be like me. Because I feel bad that they're not like me and they don't have the standard of living I do. I'm gonna let you on a little secret. Not everybody wants to live like you. Sorry. So let me give you for example, because I like to think of myself as a not very compassionate kind of a guy. Jimmy, you agree?
No.
Well, yes. Okay, so he does. So when I went to Africa, right, the second time, we were in Tanzania, and this village, they had like, nothing. I mean, they literally slept on the dirt in front of a small fire that they built with sticks that they found around, and they ate whatever they could kill that day. That was pretty much it, right? And so we were like, we're gonna bring you food and medicine and water and wells and, white people stuff. American stuff. I apologize. Okay. They call us Mzungus, which means white people, but I think what they really mean is Americans, because you see a black American go over to Africa and they're like, you're fat. Because they're all skinny. Anyway, there was somebody that had I think their bladder was taken out or something. I'm not sure about all the details, but either way, he got surgery and it got infected, and he had like a catheter or something like that, and it wasn't going good. He was going to die, and it was like a 3-day walk to get to the nearest not great hospital. So we drove, I forget, 11 hours or whatever it was. It's bumpy, right? It's through bad terrain, and so we got the one guy, and then we got Malakia, and then of course, the rest of our people were there as well. So we get him all the way over there, and then we were thinking, now we've got to drive back another 11 hours. We're like, oh, we're so tired. And we hadn't showered in, I don't know, a long time, well over a week. And then Will stopped us off at this hotel, and he's like, we'll just get some chai tea. So we stopped there, and I was like, okay, and then we'll drive another 11 hours and get back and sleep on the dirt again. But then he's like, surprise, we're gonna stay here tonight. And I was like, oh, we get a real shower and Americanish food? I like it. So we all get showered, and I just feel like a new creation. And so Malakia is from the tribe, and he's lived there, his whole life. And he comes, and we all go to have dinner, and they've got a buffet, and we're like, oh, finally real food. This is so amazing. And they bring out water with ice in it. We're like, oh, cold water. This is so great. And so we're all very, very happy because, we've elevated our standards by, I don't know, 82% or whatever. Malakia takes one sip of this water and he's like, ugh, this is horrible. It hurts my teeth. Get it away from me. And the bed was too soft for him. He didn't like that. And then every step of the way I was like, no, I don't like this. I don't like this. So it was kind of eye-opening for me because I'm thinking, look, man, we're showing you the good life. And he's like, I don't like this life. I like the life I've got.
Good life's kind of soft.
Yeah, you guys are soft. That's probably why you're so weak and squishy.
Yeah, really.
So anyway, not everybody wants the same things that you do. So maybe before you go force yourself on them, thinking that you're doing a good thing, ask, see what they got. Anyway, so we didn't get everything done today, but tomorrow we're gonna get some more stuff done, except for the fact that it's probably gonna snow tonight. So we may have to abandon this for a couple days. Love you guys, bye. Oh, hey. So I just want to start by saying that we've become a very weak, soft people. The fact that, the temperature got below 69 degrees or whatever, and the entire world shut down, I'm like, everybody up in the north is embarrassed for you guys. And I also am embarrassed for all of us. I mean, we went, oh, water might fall from the sky and it might be below freezing temperature. Let's shut down everything. And so they did. Speaking of shutting down everything, I just want to say, I'm not going to shop at Walmart anymore. And here's why. I went there and I was like, look, all I want is I need a jacket made out of either unicorn hair or dragon scales. I don't care which. They would not help me with my needs. I talked to 3 different managers. I counted 7 teeth between them, and I was like, my social media game is strong. I'm done with you guys. So now you know. Now, on a serious note, sometimes you think you know some stuff, but then time passes and you're like, oh, I'm an idiot. Let me give it for example. This is an Ecobee thermostat. I think we've talked about this several times. Now see, it's got this alert on there. It says auxiliary heat running too long. In the past 24 hours, auxiliary heat has been running for more than 180 minutes. And you're like, okay. This happens at my house often because I have some of these. It got to the point where I was like, every time I'd walk by, it would have that alert up, and I'm like, I wonder if my heater's broken. So then you know what I did? I've got an upstairs heater and a downstairs heater. I was like, I just won't run the downstairs heater because that alert comes on all the time. I don't feel like dealing with it because I work too much. And so it's been embarrassingly long. I mean, like years, that when it gets wintertime, I'm like, I guess I'll just stay upstairs or have a space heater in my office because, you know, it's freezing in this house. So I finally called Bob Cameron because I was like, well, this is a brand new unit and it's a spray foam house, whatever. And he goes, oh, no, the Ecobees just do that. They just put that alert up. All it says is, your heat pump won't be working right now because it's not enough for the cold outside. So we have to go to electric heat and your bill will be higher. I'm like, who cares? It's just money. They print it every day. So anyway, hopefully that helps you out. If you got an Ecobee and that alert comes up, just be like this. I'm rich, that's what I want. Anyway, we're gonna get some more done. Oh, hey there. So I'm kind of excited because today I broke my own personal record for how many days I've been alive. Come on in. Now I was in the dumbest elevator the other day. This elevator had a button for the floor we were already on. I was just like, obviously you don't understand stuff, I'm already here, right? Durr. Yeah, so then I started thinking, I was like, you know, it would be great, like let's say that you've got a bunch of disposable income and time and you just don't care about anybody or anything, right? You could make a room in your house that looks like an elevator and it would be a 1-story house. You could even paint it and make it, you know, appear to be an elevator. And then on the inside, put a panel, like, oh, there's a button panel that says up and down or whatever, and it just has one button that's for the floor you're already on. That's a dumb thing to do.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Even a moron could do that elevator.
yeah, it'd be like, oh, I didn't do it right. Well, it turns out I did. All right, so clearly this is how grouting works yet again. I'm sure you're grout for me showing you by repetition how stuff works. So you take your grout, you mush it in there. This is a grout float, by the way. It's rubber, and so it's got some squish to it. And that's the official name for it.
It is called squish.
You squish it in there. And then once you get some squish in there, then you sponge it all off, and that looks beautiful. Now you sponge it off about 1,647 times specifically. It's an about specific number, okay? So that's quite important. Jim, you got anything on your heart right now?
No, just my shirt.
Well, I got something I need to get off my chest. It's this shirt. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, that's about $1 right now.
You'd have $1 today anyway.
Yeah, it'd be what I just said just now.
Oh, but you have to pay yourself, so that's kind of redundant.
Well, it is, but you know.
It's like going to the Office of Redundancy office.
Here we are, doing stuff or whatever. You got nothing on your heart? You don't have anything you need to talk about or what have you?
No, I did some pretty extensive punch dancing this week.
You said sponge dancing?
Punch dancing, you know, where I go out into the forest and just punch into the air.
That's very therapeutic.
Yes, it is. When you do that thing in sit, you're just a happier man.
Mm-hmm. So you probably noticed that whenever you're grouting a wall, that about 14% of it actually ends up in the wall, and the other 14% ends up on the floor. Also, I'm not good with math, but
that's almost like 30%.
Yeah, that's part of it. And so that's why you start up high, because then stuff's going to fall on the ground. So you utilize that before it turns into a bunch of bird droppings that you can't get off of you. It kind of looks like that with the white ground.
It does. Hey, you know what that white stuff is in bird droppings?
Please tell me.
Bird droppings.
Oh, that makes sense when you say it. I don't know why I didn't think of that. All right, so I want to get us to a kind of a good stopping point here, because it's very important.
It is.
Yeah. And I'll show you how to sponge this nonsense. So this is gonna be one of the many things we do today. Now, I hear people all the time, like, I'd have spent 6 months grouting that wall. I'm like, why?
Find a new career.
Yeah, please, you need to get a job for the government.
Yeah, there you go.
You're wasting your
You are
skill set.
definitely got government employee written all over you.
Yeah, for real. 6 months doing this, that's ridiculous. All right, so I think we're at a good point that I can show you some sponge water. All right, so you see this looks cleaner and more cleaner, and this looks dirtier and more like it's got
Muddier and dirtier.
dirt in it. Okay, so you take this magical formula. It does not have to be bottled water, contrary to popular belief. You get the sponge bound like there. So then here comes the magical part. You ready, government workers?
Ready.
Okay. Now, you see how much better that's looking already?
Oh
Even
my
with
word.
right, so you see these like look kind of rough and chunky, but then watch what happens. You just smooth it out using nothing more than the power of water.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty magical. I don't know why I don't have like a sorcerer's hat or something like that whenever I'm doing this.
I was about to say.
Yeah. Harry Potter, step aside, buddy.
Yeah,
I got a
that's
grout
one,
sponge.
John Potter.
I know how to use it. So, another important thing is you clean it often, right?
Clean often.
So, there was a soap maker, and he was talking to a pastor walking down the street one day. And the soap maker looks at the pastor and says, if God is real, then how come there's so much ugly sin in the world? And the pastor's like, oh, you make a valid argument. And he goes, but while we're on the topic, if soap is real, then why is there so much dirt in the world? And the guy's like, he's like, because just like soap has to be applied daily to have any kind of real effect, so does your Christian walk.
Whoa.
I know.
Mind blown.
Yeah, so, you know, you can't just be like, oh, I said something one time and I'm good. You're like, maybe you're not. Maybe it's time to give it another go. You know, so I was thinking about this morning because I think about things. Imagine this. Imagine you've got like a bunch of really fat people, okay? If you're fat, please don't take offense. I'm not picking on you. I'm just giving an example. And these really fat people love listening to this one fitness guru.
Richard Simmons.
I don't know who it is. But they're just like, man, the way he talks about fitness, that's amazing, don't you think? And then they all just sit around and talk about it. So I got a friend, and he was like trying to describe me to a friend of his. And I'm like, oh, I'm intrigued. And so he goes, yeah, John's the kind of person that makes you want to be a better person. Like being around him makes you want to be a better person. I'm not going to do it, but he makes me want to be a better person. I'm like, you have to change. There has to be a call to action. So then I just imagine like, there's all these fat people watching this fitness person like, oh man, check out this thing he does with eating the kale thing. And they're eating like literally butter, deep fried butter. Oh wow. Oh, check out this thing he does with the jumping jacks. Oh, that's really good. I feel like maybe sometimes you guys watch this stuff and you're like, yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna go right back to doing what I'm doing. Change your life. It'll make a difference. All right, see you guys later. Oh, hey there. So, sometimes you guys feel bad for yourself, right? And I hear it all the time. People complain, boo-hoo, poor me, whatever. Just think about this for a minute, okay? Think about the salaries the Hollywood actresses are forced to live off of, and then go feel sorry for yourself. It's difficult. It puts it all in perspective. All right, so this is the attic, and you can tell there's spray foam everywhere. And it is wonderful. Now I want to tell you that outside right now, it is negative 80 degrees wind chill. That may be a slight exaggeration, but it's very cold. But up here, I'm in a t-shirt. I'm very comfortable. In fact, I'm sweating a little bit because the house is warm. And you can tell there's no insulation in the ceiling, so you can just tell like, oh, that's where the wires are, that's where the pipes are, the top of a wall if I wanted to drill a hole and do whatever. Very simple, right? So I love spray foam and I love attics like this. It's well lit. There's no like, oh, what am I gonna do? But here's another cool thing. What's that over there? That's a monitor for cameras, okay? So we got cameras all over the place because, you know, science. And this has an app on your phone, so it will record on a DVR, it will record on the web somewhere, I don't know where, and it's a free app. And then you can get it on your phone, and then anywhere in the world, you can look and be like, oh, there's somebody anywhere around your house, including inside your house. And then you can shine a light on them. You can talk to them. You can hear what they're saying. You can record it. It detects human motion. So it's a little yellow guy pops up like, hey, there's a human there. And even if you're not watching it, it'll record that as an event and go, human motion happened here. We'll pre-roll a minute and then go all the way up to it and then some, so that you have an event. You just click back through and go, oh, this happened at 5:16 a.m. or whatever. And that's very convenient. So I have these on my house too. And here's the thing. You can get 8 cameras that are all HD and the system, the DVR, the app, and everything for I think like $400 or $500, and all the wires, and it's hardwired, so you don't have to worry about paying a subscription, and you don't have to charge batteries ever, which I think that's amazing. So, Mike, you got anything on your heart?
Not at the moment, John. I'm just laying on a pipe right now.
Oh, in that
to
case,
make you beautiful.
And you do. Thank you. Maybe I could be a Hollywood actress and survive on their salaries. All right. No, hey there. So earlier today, we were listening to that Rage Against the Washing Machine song, "Sleep Now in the Fire." Right? Remember that?
I believe this.
Yeah, and we were all like trying to debate with the singer who was not there to hear us, and I felt disrespected. But we were like, I don't think it'd be very comfortable to sleep in a fire because I just feel like I'd be like, I don't feel like I would be able to relax. Right. And now that we're standing in front of a fire, the thought of sleeping in that fire, no.
Not so much.
No. Now, there's a couple things that bother me. Number A, when people say it's cold as hell out here, and it is, okay? But I'm like, who does your math? Like, hell's not cold. Hell's hot, like that. And the closer I get to this, the more I'm like, no. This right here, this already burns, right? But like sleeping in this fire, not good. But if you think this is hot, just wait till you get to hell. Yeah, I mean, but just imagine not just this little bit, but everything's on fire. It's like Oprah going, you're on fire, you're on fire, you're all on fire. It would be highly unpleasant. Here's the thing. You have the opportunity to not go there. Take that opportunity. Now I know what you're thinking. The devil's not real. Look around, buddy. His work is everywhere. Okay? And when you're all like, I don't know, like, I just feel like there's not enough evidence of God. I'm like, what more do you need? What more do you need before you're going to believe in God? I mean, seriously, like, how many more signs do you need to have before you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm the dumb. And get it right. Jesus goes, hey, man, I paid the price for you. You can come here. I forgive you for all the things you've done. I know what they are. Trust me. Everybody knows but you. We all know except for you. You're the only one refusing to believe. That's hot. Move.
It is warm.
Yeah, it's very hot. Yeah. No, thank you.
Stupid hellfire.
Yeah. Get it right. If you're like, I don't know how to get it right, John, call me up. Email me. FaceTime me. Message me. Whatever in the world. I answer everything. It's true story.
FaceTime.
I love it. You know why I especially love FaceTime? If I'm in the shower, or if I'm in the toilet, or if I'm asleep, I love it. Or like if I wake up like this, it's highly attractive. I can do some of my best speeches then. My encouragement is like on point. All right, we're gonna get back to work. The house is beautiful though, right? I mean, wow. Yeah. Now one day that's gonna burn too. I know. Mike, don't get upset. It's when the whole world burns. It'll be fine. And then what'll happen? A new world.